It's always the question.
Oh, we got our buddy Craig. Okay, we got Craig in here. This will be recorded. Happy New Year, everyone. It is finally 2025. One moment. There we go. Info, in, info loading. What up, Space? What's good? Get this light on too. Better lighting here. Looking good. Looking good. We have 24 people joining in. What up, Mobby? I want to give a shout out to everyone joining us. We're gonna be driving some alpha in this AMA here. Let's bring up Mark. Let's get Ryan up here. But yeah, we're gonna be dropping a lot of alpha. A lot of updates. It's been a bit since we've done an AMA. We're due. um, we are more than due.
You're definitely due. Yeah.
And I want to remind everyone that again, this AMA will be recorded. If you would like to ask any questions, please do. Right in the chat, and we'll kind of just hop in. But Ryan, what's going on? Great to have you up here as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here. Thanks
Amazing
for having me.
you. And we got Mark as well. Mark, how are you doing?
I got a little bit of a cold, so I'm keeping myself muted so I don't cough all over you guys and spread the love.
I don't want that digital cold, the digital COVID, bro.
It's a virus.
Well, I hope you feel better. Seems like
thanks, man.
Everyone's getting sick right now, unfortunately. But
I'm on the way back though, so it feels good.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Yeah, I mean, let's kind of dive into it. It's been a little bit, and we have some updates for you all. I think we're gonna touch on. I want to give it to Eric to kind of start off. There we go. And we kind of touched on some of the maybe just general updates on Uprising. How's everything going? You know, we have a lot of questions that we'll dive through for specific topics, but I think we can all kind of agree here that it is more than, you know, it's incredibly exciting to be building right here in this market. And we've been prepping for the moments like this. And we have some big updates ahead. So, Eric, is there anything, I guess, to start, maybe touch on some of the upcoming updates for Uprising?
Yeah. Okay. Putting me on the spot here. This is not
what we could allude to.
This is not pre-rehearsed in any sort of way.
It's an AMA. We kind of dive in. We'll touch on everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's a couple of things we sort of hope that we had wrapped up, so that we could sort of make some official announcements now. And we've got the contracts basically done and signed. We do not have permission to announce things yet. We've signed on another bigger partner that we're going to be working with, which, you know, will allow us to do even more games, essentially, which is something we're, you know, super excited about. And then sort of over the next few weeks, we'll be able to start like trickling out those announcements. And so that really is what we've been working on for the past couple of months, which will really propel us forward for the next like year or so, I would say. So I think that's a pretty big thing, and, you know, puts us in a really comfortable spot for what we want to do, which is really just build games for the community and for the developers themselves. So that really is what we've been doing. I think beyond that, some people may have noticed that they're starting to get Maelstrom points on the leaderboard, which something else we've been working on to make sure that game points start getting integrated into the leaderboards. So leaderboards really are sort of your main space of know what's going on point wise and things like that. We want to keep feeding information into that so everyone has sort of a transparent view sort of where they stand on the leaderboards and what's going on there. So we'll put out some like more official announcements on like Twitter and stuff like that. But to get your points on leaderboard, you need to play the game at least once to get it updated, and then wait up to 24 hours for it to show up on the leaderboard. Basically, it syncs every 24 hours or more. Mr. House, I use your account for testing, so your points aren't accurate, just so you know, brother. It's just that I know you well, and I know your username well, and so I ended up using your account for testing. So I'm going to drop you some chests for letting me use your account. So I appreciate that. So yeah, leaderboards starting to show up. I think some people noticed. So definitely go jump into Maelstrom, play around, get your points updated there for Maelstrom XP. Yeah, I think those really for me have been the big things that we've been working on. I maybe throw it to Ryan here. So obviously, Maelstrom is a big part of what we've been doing as our first title. We're excited to be announcing more titles, hopefully this month, if everything goes on track. They've been like busy building the background, and we just wanted to wait till sort of the right time to make those announcements. And I almost forgot Strike Protocol. They're also doing their thing. They as you guys know, I think some of you have seen the game and played sort of early access versions. Taken basically all that feedback and said, okay, let's go back, let's just polish up the corners of where we want to be, and are moving forward from there. So yeah, Ryan, I'll throw it over to you and sort of stop rambling, and maybe we can talk about Maelstrom and where that's going and what the roadmap looks like for that.
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of bringing over some things to show off a little bit here. Some of the things the Tide Turners and 4-3 teams have been working on. So hi, I'm Ryan, if you guys don't know. One of the co-founders here, Eric, and very excited to talk about Maelstrom. Can't wait to talk about other games that we haven't announced yet too. There's some really more cool stuff coming. But in the short term, for those of you who have played Maelstrom, let me just give you some quick backstory. As you guys know, it's an older game that we took over and have been bringing forward. Taking a game that's 4 years old, bringing it to the modern engines, and then adding new content is a very trying process. The Tide Turners team has done an amazing job on that. And I guess I'll just show off some of the pieces of things we have here. Big changes include UI, store, new ships. The new level has already been added in. There's another level coming. Custom game lobbies are coming. And then eventually later this year, we're going to have our Clan Wars mode as well. So let me share a quick things with you. Any questions so far before I even get started here?
I think we'll let you take it away. We're excited to hop in there.
All right. So we'll load this up here, maybe. Well, hang on here, guys. Give me a second. It's actually not working. Of course it's not. That'd be too much sense. Let's try it again here. All right. There we go. Okay. Let me try that again. So this is some of the new UI. Captains and mates, just kind of give it a little cleaner look they went with, trying to streamline things and make it be more direct. So that's one of the first pieces we're talking about here. So that's coming. This is the internal path of just kind of show you guys how the team is working. They're looking at and communicating on what they're looking at changing. Players want chat, so keep chat, player quests, come back. You'll see the new UI pieces here at the bottom. Shows reloading, shows you can tell your damage to your ship. This is your cannons reloading and your armor all kind of centrally located there as well. There it is without all the writing on it. These are they've now kind of established some lore in the actual universe. We now have, instead of just dwarfs, elves, humans, undead, there's actually factions with kingdom names coming, so there'll be a little more clearable stuff. These are going to be the key shots for the levels. The levels have names as well. Go ahead. What are you laughing at, TP?
You said elves. Did I just hear you say elves?
Oh, oops. Well, they're not coming yet. They might be coming.
Okay.
leaked something. Oh no. I hope I don't fall. This is the
I'm
new
Alan.
store. So one of the big problems with the game is a lot of people don't know how to go find the ship cosmetics, how to get things, buy things. So one of the requests that came in from the community is, where do we get our stuff? Right now, you have to go into the customization screen. It's very confusing. So they have streamlined the store. The experience for the store were to add game codes. So if you get rewards or codes that get dropped, you have a single place to put them easily as well. So this is a pretty cool piece too. And yeah, so that's the first stage of that. And then I'm going to show you guys some of our ships. Any questions so far? I don't see the chat. Can get the chat going? There it is. Boom.
This Angel Claw said faction reputations in the future for more unlocks.
Yeah, I love it.
There's a lot of things in the works. I don't want to say what's in the works yet, but I will say that factions should have an impact outside of just being named. So we'll leave it at that.
We have discussed elves, but not to the wider world.
So this is one of the new ships. There's some of the new character skins that are becoming as well. You can get. So there's some of the moving pieces to it.
Whoa. That's really cool.
So really cool stuff. We like that one there. We also have this too. Is that change over for you guys? Do you guys see the different dwarven ship, the volcano one? Yeah, did that change?
What
We
do
got
you
the
mean?
Universe one right now.
The which one?
Universe.
Universe.
That's still showing. Oh,
Yeah.
all right, hang on. I guess that wouldn't pick it up. I'm hoping that my screen would pick up the correct thing. It did not. Here we go. So here's some of the new reference ships that we saw. This is not a high quality HD video, unfortunately, but you get the sense of it here. It's pretty cool. So these are some of the new premium content that are coming out as well. Some different variations. So that's just a touch of some of the things that are coming. And I guess I'll add one more little piece. Do I have that here? I think I do. I want to show you guys the new dockyard because it's really cool, but I'm not seeing where I put that piece. Basically, we now have it so that you can go into a loading dock and build out your loadouts that you're looking for and see all kind of your ships. That way, it's a really cool piece. And I will try to find it here in a minute. So I'll kick it back to you, Kearney, while I look for that, and we'll find it. Come back to that one.
Yeah, I mean, these are really high quality skins that'll be on chain. So really excited to see all that and get that all together. Let's see.
What?
We could talk on
Now I see, Eric. There's one of the questions here, what blockchain games we can't say yet, but we are very soon.
Yeah, we have a home for it. We're just working out the announcement with them, basically. But it always had to meet our needs of like, is it accessible? Is it really fast enough for what we want to do? Is it cheap enough or free that we can have people basically play the game without gas? So those are really our main requirements more than anything else to begin with. Then looking for an ecosystem that's supportive of what we're doing and helping us build and build out future titles, really. Like that's the main goal, right? So a lot of other things are sort of like background noise to us and whatever else. It's not a super exciting answer, but it's coming. Can you comment on the battle pass? If someone hasn't bought it yet, will they have time to use it before we hit reset?
Yes. We'll be looking at a battle pass. Should be good for probably a few more weeks. In fact, I think I need to confirm this. There's going to be a price drop into the battle pass for the last 4 weeks of the battle pass before the new battle pass comes out. If you're not playing a lot, just be completely frank, I'm not sure how beneficial Battle Pass is going to be within 2 weeks out. If you're 4 to 5 weeks out, you can definitely grind through a lot of that. If we're a week and a half, 2 weeks out, it's probably not worth buying at that point, to be honest. Not trying to not get you guys to buy stuff. If you think you're gonna play it, get it. But we'll be making more announcements. The goal will be in February at some point. We'll be rolling out hopefully the next season Battle Pass. So that's the current timeline. So just to give you an idea of what we're looking at. So yeah, we'll make it cheaper so that if you want to grab it, it's doesn't hurt so much if you don't get it finished. But there's some cool stuff within the Battle Pass still you can get even on the early stages of it.
Yeah, and if you are going to get it, again, we have, we're running 4 or 5, weekly events in the Discord here. We're grinding with the guilds. Mark and I are in the trenches. We're getting those things together, so there'll be plenty of opportunities to play with other players.
Yeah, when we launch the custom game lobbies here very soon, that'll be a great time. I think to really move some stuff. Actually, I didn't show a custom game lobby. Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yeah, you just dropped it right there. So I think we didn't really talk about any game modes or sort of functions of the game itself. We talked mostly about UI and ships and maps, but we didn't talk about that. So
yeah, let me trying to figure out where I put that.
That's my favorite game mode.
The quickest way to earn some chess.
Thank you, big boy. These dogs are high maintenance.
Does anyone have a link? I don't have a link to the game in front of me here. Let me.
# Maelstrom. We have the channel. You can go watch the videos set up.
Let me see here.
We need to update our YouTube on that as well, but we'll probably do that with the new updates and have the walkthroughs through that.
Man, guys, I don't know why I cannot find the video for.
It's okay. We can keep moving forward in the AMA and then like come back to it.
Yeah.
Get there because I think we actually did get some specific questions. Maybe I'll start down the AMA here, Bennett, with the first one while we're doing this. And someone asked, "What's the horror game we see on the site that's coming in Q1?" So yeah, that is still in our roadmap. Nothing has changed there. Those guys have been again working really hard on their product and making sure that it's all ship shape before they make any announcement, because they know once they make an announcement, people are gonna jump on it, which because it's going to be super exciting, and we want it to be in a playable state before we do that, because that's been sort of our MO. That's been our plan always, right? Is we want to bring games that we know are going to launch and we know that are at least have a slice of life and are playable and in our early alphas or betas, rather than be selling tokens years before anything really comes out. So again, we just want to make sure they're in a really good place before we announce something. That being said, we are playtesting that game every week, working hand in hand, Ryan Snow and the team, for quite some time. So again, not a bunch of randos, people we know well, and that we really trust to bring it. So, but yeah, it is a horror game of sorts, and we're excited to be announcing that hopefully in the next month or so as well.
I'll jump in there as a gamer real quick. The horror game, obviously we're gonna bring the best of the best quality to Web3. I think we need that in terms of product, and it's very good. It's fun.
It's fun.
You guys are gonna really enjoy that one.
It's scary. I've got the last thing I want to show you guys here, which is the customization area that we call the dockyard shipyard. This is still an early, not polished stage, but this gives you an idea what's coming. Is that showing up for you guys okay?
Yep. All good.
Looks good.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the camera movements in this, actually.
This is high quality stuff. Yeah.
And then how you do custom
the loadouts. There we go.
Nice.
Yeah, so the UI will still be updating further from here, right? It's not Like
This is just blocking. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not finalized. I mean, it's the style they're going
It's
for.
getting
More
closer.
clean.
Yeah.
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 It's a pretty big shift from the original, which is very stylized, to more clean, a more clean look on the stuff, which is pretty cool. But it definitely has um, some differences. And then I was going to show the custom game lobby too. This is what the custom game lobby is going to look like.
I'm cracking up at House.
Yeah, I mean the Tide Turner guys, they really know what they're doing.
So you'll be able to have a code if you want to have people come and join. You could do PvP, PvE. You can select your map, including the. Our goal is to even keep the Halloween event maps. So we'll be rotating those out of play. For example, the Halloween maps are gone, the Christmas maps are in. But if you like the Halloween maps, you can still pick that. The players will come into the lobby and they get assigned to a team. So I think this is a huge part, especially for our game days that we're wanting to have. This is a big piece of that. It queues differently. I know there's been a lot of issue with the matchmaking system. Just for some transparency for you guys, the game that was launched in 2020 was not updated since the end of 2020. It was in Unreal 4.2.1. They're now in 4.2.7, but when that update happened, the AWS SDKs that were used back then broke. And so it broke the matchmaking system. So they're rebuilding that piece too. There's been a ton of work that you guys don't get to see the benefit of necessarily, or understand how much work is going into the product that the Tide Turners team has been doing. Remy, the head of studio for them, is honestly such a, I won't say perfectionist, but he is a perfectionist, and he's working really hard on making sure that the quality of the product is really good. The art is excellent, and I'm really excited to get this thing moving forward in a way that I think will really be fun to play. So we appreciate every one of you guys who hopped in and played. We're going to be doing, I think, a big kickoff event from when we get closer to this. We'll try to get a bunch of people playing in the product as well. And then we'll be adding it to some new stores as well, which should bring in additional new users. So we're pretty excited about all those pieces.
Yeah, so we definitely have a user acquisition plan sort of around this as well, which will bring in more players and should make things more active. We've had a couple comments on those. We really wanted to wait and pull the trigger for it again until it's ready, that it will be sticky for those users. We don't want to drive users to it and then be like, okay, well, the matchmaking on this sucks, right? Like I can't do XYZ, and it's like, well, we know that. So
Yeah.
we just want to make
exactly.
sure that it's not a good answer to be like, oh, okay, we know. That doesn't make anyone necessarily stick around in the long term. So we really want to make sure that we have it in a good place before we pull that trigger and sort of open the floodgates to driving a lot more users. So
It's a common mistake in Web3 to pull the trigger before it's ready. So yes.
Yeah.
I think so. It's a fundraising mechanism, right? And that's something we've tried to avoid. That, and I think that just the quality of care that goes into the games that we want to put out is very high, right? We want to make sure it's not just like two devs deving in their basement, which could be fine. It just takes a lot longer. So we want to make sure.
I will say there are some pretty killer games that made just 2 devs, for the record, in the last.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of time, though, right? So
You know what's astonishing to me, though, as someone that's been in the industry for almost 20 years, in the last 6 years, what Unreal and Unity have done and the tool sets around them, Adobe,
yeah.
they have what has taken a team of 15 people can be done by 3, and it's mind blowing to me. Yes, there's a time component. There's always a time cost quality equation in any game, right? You can't have all 3. You just can't. You can balance that where you want to move it inside of it, but you can't have all 3. And so in any game, even the big AAA stuff, there's one of those
I
things
was gonna
suffers.
say, let's not talk about Ubisoft. Even though they have the money and the time, they still there's still corners, there's still walls you're getting stuck in.
SSD, I'll answer that question.
Wait, I can actually answer that one. That's the one I can actually answer.
Go
So
for it.
I've been on these meetings. So the question of when new races, when things come out, the first thing that needs to happen is a rebalancing, because we've had some mathematicians in our ranks that have crunched numbers and have just said for example, the Undead Battleship at power level 1000 basically has double the hit points of some of the sloops. It's just not. It's not fair. And so there needs to be some tweaks before anything else. I mean, this game needs to be competition ready, and that's not competition ready if you have one ship that's just is far and away stronger than the others. So there's some rebalancing that's going to go with the captains. There's some things that we don't like with certain captains. I started playing the ink captain, where you just basically annoy everybody. If you've been in the events and I've been annoying you, well, here's my face. Now you know what I'm looking like when I do it to you. And that's just not fun for competition to just annoy people. So there needs to be some rebalancing that happens before anything else happens. So that's one of the things they're
Also,
strongly talking about.
that is not an easy fix at all. That is a very deep dive. So Remy, the co-creative director, really the core creative director. I'm kind of the oversight director, I guess. He's really the creative director, we're being honest. But he and I have had many talks around that. So when you have a product that you're bringing forward, and it's already been live, there's a lot of stuff you have to assess. You can only execute so many things at a time. So the number one goal the last few months has been to stabilize the game, to stabilize the engine, stabilize the matchmaking, and then begin bringing in new content. So the Tide Turners team has done. I mean, I can't tell you guys. I can't give you guys enough respect for what they've actually had to do behind the scenes on this code. It has been very, very hard, unforeseen things, and they have just solved the problems and just kept this thing moving forward. So, like I said, the custom game lobbies, it's going to be. Oh, Remy's in here. Hey, Remy. Yeah. So we're really excited for the next stage of Maelstrom, and we have plans to continue stuff moving forward throughout the year. I can say confidently there'll be a new season pass, a new map. As we grow the user base, we'll get some new game modes. We kind of gave the custom game lobbies, which kind of allows you to do, in some ways, a custom game mode. But we don't want to split the player base yet. The other big piece here is one of the conversations we're having about is naming the tiers. I think this is an idea that TP had, which, so instead of 1,000 to 15 or 14.99, there'll be a name tier for that. So there's some conversations we're having around those kind of pieces too. So understand that the team is, I mean, there's I think almost 15, 20 people working out for the Tide Turners team. So it's definitely a lot of hands on deck for it.
I'm gonna bring Remy up, see if he wants to say anything about what you're cooking.
There's his
Remy?
beautiful face.
How's it going, Sarah?
It is going. All right, I was busy working with the UX team. Then I got summoned over here, so I have them working right now, and I hopped over. I saw you doing an AMA. So Ryan kind of gave a little bit of insight, but it sounds like people have questions. So I guess since I'm more in the thick weeds of it, I can answer anything you guys have questions about. So what was forgive me, I'm coming in late. So like what was asked and what was answered so far?
We just kind of showed off some of the new UI pieces, the custom game lobbies, a store, some of the new ships. So we kind of, we didn't show up all the stuff, but kind of give an overview of that, and just talked about how much work has gone into stabilizing the game. It's kind of rebuilding this foundation at first, and now we're moving into like content pieces.
Yep. Again, these type of AMAs, I know when you talk to people who play video games, they say like, "Oh, you're rebuilding the foundation." Everybody's like, "Yeah, but that's easy. Where's my new ships? Where's my story? Where's all the cool stuff?" So let me at least sprinkle some nuggets of stuff we're working on outside of just foundational things. So one thing that has been discussed for quite a bit in the game is the setting, the world, the races, the Phoenix Empire, and all this stuff. So I've been working with a narrative team in the background, and we're trying to create an established setting for this game that will actually be more evolving as the seasons come out, that kind of tell a continuous story of the world that's going on and why all the races exist here, what happened, why the maelstroms exist, why the monsters exist, all this type of stuff. We're trying to give answers and create a sort of sense of identity for the player to want to be invested in playing this game other than just blowing each other up.
It's also important for us from a design perspective where to take the product. We need that lore. Right now it's just a battle royale game, and we're bringing an experience into that.
Correct. So one of the foundational things that we're going to be doing is kind of slowly trickling out some of the new narrative. In fact, one of the major updates that we're doing right now, you're going to see a big change happening for the factions. The factions actually are going to have names, and I'm not going to reveal that till it's out. So, but we're finally going to give everybody a kingdom or a tribe or a setting. They all have their place in this world, and we're going to start slowly trickling in why they exist, why they're here, and why their races can do these abilities, and so on. And as to Ryan's point, a lot of that is being done for design purposes. We can't build levels if we don't know why they're in that area, why they're in that biome. We can't build new content for ships if we don't know why the races build stuff out of duct tape and bubblegum versus another one that builds out of metal. We need to understand why that exists. So by doing a lot of this background type of design, it allows for us to do a big foot forward and start planning really cool events around things that start fitting into a narrative level. So that's some of the future design. I'm not going to say specifically what, but some of the season passes, some of the we'll just say the possible new experiences for PvE and PvP can reflect a lot of those new things that we're doing on a narrative level. I saw somebody in chat mention about different trident colors. I don't want to give it away, but I will say that there's going to be a big update happening to customize, a giant update. And Tridents definitely will begin a little bit of a facelift, and I think you'll be happy with some of the new directions that we've done. Additionally, we made it very clear for the player to see everything now. So I will be honest, you're going to see a very big update, and I know, like everything else, there's going to be people who love it and people who hate it. It's video games. We get it. It happens every time. But I'm hoping that the new update that we show probably sometime in the next week or two will kind of help a lot of you on a more visual level see what you have physically. We're trying to make everything very streamlined. You can see everything up front. We're having a new...
I showed a screenshot of that with the
Cool.
wheel and those pieces. So
Oh, yeah. So they saw the dockyard then?
they did.
Oh, okay. So then, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, talking cryptic, everyone. I was trying to keep.
I'm a little sharing hoe bag over here. I was got
Oh,
to
okay. That's not okay. You gotta tell me when you do stuff like that. But yeah. So we're gonna have a dockyard.
Actually, for the record, this is the only group that's seen this. This is not anywhere else out. This is just the Uprising people.
Okay, so it's secret. It's a little secretive. Good. So okay, well then I'll spill the beans a little bit. We have the new dockyard, and the dockyard is going to be where you can now see every faction that you own and which boats you physically own and what's currently equipped on that boat. Now, one thing that we are working on behind the scenes that won't be ready in this update, but we're hoping by end of next month they'll be fully out. We're also going to have the ability to save custom loadouts for every boat. So no more, I want to play a 1,000-point game, I have to unequip everything, re-equip. That's going to go away by the end of the month. So right now, you'll see the first pass on this where it's going to be a little bit cleaner, so you can easily customize your boat. But right now, you're only going to be able to save one boat currently. By the end of the month, we should have everything set up. They could do up to 5 loadouts. I'm still working with engineering on that, so don't quote me on that number just yet.
By the end of next month.
End of next month. I'm sorry, I'm saying this month. By end of next month. I haven't stopped since October, so it's just been a blur. It's still 2024 in my head.
Guys, actually, Remy, how many hours a week are you working on this project?
So for those of you who are maybe of a Hispanic culture, you know that family is very important to us, and you know that the holidays are very important. I have worked so many hours that my family is very annoyed with me right now for the holidays. That's how many hours I had to work. So I'll just say it more that way, that I have not had a break since we started in October. So I don't count hours anymore. I've been counting the weeks and the months. So I am somewhere between 80 to 100 hours a week working on this project right now, trying to get everything up and running and trying to get this back to where it should be. So,
and Remy, is it not true that you actually had to tell your team to make sure they didn't work on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's?
Yeah, because everybody was so worried that we wouldn't get the updates done in time for this upcoming milestone for January, that they wanted to make sure they're working to literally to the clock. I had to actually tell people not to work on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and New Year's Day. And still some people still ended up working and didn't tell me. There's just a lot under the hood that we had to unfortunately really rebuild to make this game as strong as possible. But I can say safely that we're finally approaching that finish line, and this will allow for us to now scale the game for larger things in the future without becoming a big issue. So I know some things that people are going to probably ask are, hey, what's going on with the boat shaking? Hey, what's going on with matchmaking? Right now, those two things are the biggest things in the background that we're currently still fixing. Without getting into all the bells and whistles of how video games work, I will just say that the previous team, though, they gave us a good backbone to build from, a good skeleton. It was missing a lot of the meat, and we had to kind of rebuild a lot of that stuff to make it even functional. So that's the reason why that's been a little bit slower for us to fix currently. But I'm hoping by the end of next month, all that's resolved, everything will be updated, and this game will be all streamlined from that point forward. And then we can start building more seasonal events, doing more fun stuff. That's stuff that we've been wanting to do since the beginning.
So what I will say for the code, for people who code, Eric, for you specifically, just the ship shaking interaction with the water, that's 15,000 lines of code.
Yeah.
That's not a good thing, for the record. But that's what the teams are having to work through. And so just, I was singing your praises earlier, Ramir. The team's praise is really about just what the team has done. More is better, right? I guess you're
Always
paid by
better.
line. If you're paid by line of code, that's probably true. But
we're
yeah.
not.
So yeah, I think one last question for you, Remy, on we showed off some of the ships. I know you were very much overseeing a lot of the art style, the art direction of that. Can you talk a little bit about just what goes into the ships and some of those pieces a little bit?
Sure. Well, I think last time I secretly showed off. I think you guys saw the Galaxy one, the purple one with the nebula. Did I show it off last time I was in the meeting?
I did this time too.
Did I show you guys the lava one that's also being worked on? The volcano one?
Sorry, I already did that one too. They haven't seen the human stuff at all. I've only seen the dwarf. They haven't seen anything human.
Okay. Well, I can load up some stuff really quick. Just give me a quick second. But as far as some of the design direction is going, as far as the foundational ships, they are being rebuilt, and we're using the original models as the guideline of what we're building with. We are giving them an update visually, and we're giving them a little bit more of a visual fidelity that we wanted to hit. But a lot of the decisions we're making also kind of tie back into like a lot of narrative stuff we talked about. We actually liked the Phoenix Empire, so we kept a lot of that stuff still in for humans. But we are going to be changing up a little bit of their setting and story a little bit. So a lot of future decisions make sense as we roll them out. Just give me a second. I'm just trying to grab screenshots to show people. Just give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, we'll get the screenshots, and then we'll move on to the next thing. I know there's other stuff too, but Remy, I really appreciate you hopping in and and kind of letting people see. I started saying we're co-creative director. I was like, I'm kind of like the oversight director, and Remy's really the creative director. So
I'm the creative director who listens to everybody else's creative direction, and I apply it towards the creative direction of the project. How about that? Here, I can share screens real quick, show you a couple of screenshots of a couple of the new boats. So we just finished the human sloop and a couple of its variations. So as you can see with the concepts, we have the treasure theme pack that we are also doing for some of the ships. This is going to be the new Phoenix Empire's sloop, and this is the treasure variation of it. We also have one of the ice variations, the snow. So we have a couple of different ones. We refer to them as skins and costumes internally. So any of the ones that are colors, there are adjusted and some slight texture variations, we refer to those as skins. And the ones that actually have new geometry and 3D models on them, we refer to those as costumes. So we have 2 costumes for every race and 2 skins for every race for the upcoming humans. So this is one of the current variations. This one's still being worked on, so I don't have more than just these 2 currently. And I have the new foundational one. Sorry, I'm just trying to grab it still. Did it not take a screenshot of the final? Really? Come on, guys.
Like me, I was trying to find all my stuff earlier. I was like, I can't find it.
Yeah, it's because I've been working live with everybody. So normally, so you guys know how I work as creative director. When people deliver things to me for review, I have them do this type of presentation on the art side because this is easy to show off. If I have to do something like this and you guys want to see it, I don't have to scrimmage. It looks professional. But this last 3 weeks have been holiday, so I've been working with people live, so I'm getting a lot of things like that, like just quick screenshot, and I'm like, yeah, it's good, thumbs up. But that's the new direction for the human sloop. I do have the concepts for the other boats that I can show off really quick.
Yeah, we got about 1 more minute, Remy.
1 more minute. Okay, I'm going as fast as I can. You guys, you put me on the spot. Okay. Yeah, okay. Cool. So as you can see, the Phoenix Empire, it's very reminiscent of the old design, but we are